Hoo hoo hoo. I'm a hillbilly. Hi guys. Welcome back to Just Carved Rob. Just Sick Carving Rob. So this is where we're at so far. This is what our guy's looking like. And I've gone in here with the dremel from our last video. This was all just a big chunk here and a big chunk there. I've taken that out and I've rounded it. So he's coming along. Thanks for all the ideas you guys have been giving me for my new workbench, how to hook the vacuum up. So I had good ideas. Just taking the knife and cleaning up some of the spots where the nose of the Dremel bit was too big. Basically, that's what I'm doing. Kind of cleaning all this up down here. You see all the deep striations that the extreme saber-tooth burr has left for us. We're just gonna wet this up a little bit here. The wood it's pine, I believe. We got from Pete. The last piece we carved. That just shows you how much difference there can be in the same type of wood. That last part, the last stuff we carved with the for the wizard, stuff was awesome, carved great. This, it's a little more loose, chippy, I guess. So, and I've had that happen with basswood too, is where you buy basswood from the same pack or the same lot, and we don't know if this wood was all part of the same lot. What happens is you run into a hard piece or you run into a soft piece. So you're going to get variations in your wood even though it might be the same species of wood. But yeah, if you get it where you get a lot of pulls in it, like I'm getting with this wood, it's taking big. When I make the cut, it will take a bigger chip than I want. It like breaks it out. You get like a breakout. So I'm using a solution of water and isopropyl alcohol, 50-50 mix. And I just wet it down with it. I know it makes it easier for you guys to see it because it darkens this wood. But it also makes it easier to, I guess, shave. See, we're running across some hard grain right here, and it wants to pull, like tear. And even with the Dremel, with the saber tooth burr, saber burr, it wants to pull. You can see kind of like little tears right there, but the grain is running this way, so I guess we're into like side grain or something. So it just wants to pull and tear. So we're probably going to end up letting that dry out a bit, and we'll come back in with the diamond burrs. So because they're very low aggression, kind of more like sanders. We'll come in with them in these areas where we have that hard side grain that just wants to rip. We'll try a diamond burr or a sanding stick on those to see if we can get it smoothed out a little bit. I don't think I'm going to be carving for very long today, guys. The only reason I came out here today is because I've had a splitting headache, almost migraine, I guess, for the last 2 days, and it finally let up a little bit. It was such a bad headache, it was kind of blurring my vision. And I guess, from what I was told, that's classified a migraine headache. I'm like, I never had a migraine before, and guess what? I don't ever want another one. You poor guys that suffer from migraines, I feel for you. I'm just trying to round over these guys, these little stubs, nubs, whatever you want to call them. I'm trying to get that black marker off there. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Let's see. See that black marker, man? That stuff just traveled right down that grain. Tight grain woods, I think you can get away with the Sharpies. This pine just don't like it at all. Get that off there. Here we go. And then you're trying to make scoops because we don't really want any hard edges in this pine. See, this side's different than this side. This side, you can see the grain structure is actually running crossways on this side. Even though it was carved with the grain up and down, you're still getting that in grain. I guess it'd be in grain because we cut in, right? So it would be in grain that you're messing with. Still messing with that in grain. And then over here you got that, it's like that side grain. It's very, all I can say is it's like it's tearing. It cuts, but it tears. It's like leaves the grain popped out, I guess you'd say. So it kind of tears. And even with the Dremel, it tears. So we're trying to do a little scoopy cut here because we want that to roll into that side. We don't have to get all that technical with it, just because see how that's tearing. because like I said, we're going to go over it with the diamond burr. There's just some places you want to get into and the wood just don't want to cooperate. See how that's like looks like it's tore right there? And as you're working these, you'll figure out which way the grain is going to work for you. So don't be afraid to try to attack it from a couple different angles. If one angle it seems like the wood's pulling and tearing on you, go the other way if you can. Most of the time you can. Oh man, my nose is running like the Niagara Falls. Okay, so I think that's got most of our stuff sharpened up, and we've got rid of a lot of the deep cuts from the extreme burr, saber tooth burr. This is some kind of pine. That's all I can tell you about it, guys. Some kind of pine. It's whatever kind of pine this is, yellow pine or northern pine, I don't know. Ponderosa pine. It's the same kind of pine that the wizard was made out of, because it's got these little dots in it. Right? You got the wood grain, but then in between the wood grain, it's got like these little dots. So, comparing the two from when we carved the wizard, he had them little dots too, but man, that carved almost as good as basswood. Whatever the grain structure was of that wood. I think it was a little tighter than this too, as far as grain. That's why it kind of had me fooled there, because of the grain. It was so tight. And you can see this grain. See, this grain in here is pretty far apart. So, if you're going to carve pine, try to find something that's got some stuff that's got some super tight grain to it. And the cedar that I was using for a carving that I did has a super wide grain in it. Super duper wide. And the problem with that is, with it being so wide, you see the grain lines in this are actually harder than the, let's call it whitewood. I don't know what the real terminology is for it, but I'm going to say whitewood because the grain is darker. So we're going to say the whitewood is quite soft, but the dark stripes are hard. And you can, with a knife, you can actually feel it. You can feel it skip. You can hear it skip. Most of the time with a Dremel you don't have that problem, but I have with a Dremel on occasion with different types of pine had an issue where especially diamond burrs, where you'll be going like trying to smooth this out, and wherever that whitewood is, it'll just dive right in there, and then it hits that harder wood, so it wants to jump over it, so then you end up with a wavy surface. Just pay attention to that when you're carving too. That's why I would suggest carving a wide grain wood like pine. You want to use a light pressure on your Dremel. So if it does decide to dive deep on you, it won't be that big of a deal. Now if you're just bearing down on it and it dives in there, depending on what stage of carving you are, if you're getting near your finished stage, could give you some issues. But if you're you're in the rough out stage, it really don't matter. You just have to remember it. Ugh. So that's what he's looking like right there. This being the front, side, and back. Got some tea. Iced tea. Full of antioxidants, they say. And ice. Alright. So I guess our next move would be to go in here with our diamond and get all this fuzz out of here. So let's get set up for that with the Dremel, with a diamond. And that'll be our next stage. We'll just go ahead and go in here and try to get all this stuff smoothed out. I'm gonna have to, well, we'll see how it works. If I have to let them dry out a little bit, we will. Let's see how bad it how bad it plugs up our diamond. Okay, so let me get set up for that, and then I'll be right back with you. All right. Actually, I think we'll end this video because we're almost at our 20-minute mark. So we're just going to go ahead and end this video, and then we'll start the next one with the diamond burr. Okay? So we'll see y'all later. Just carve something awesome. Share, subscribe, and like if you want to. And we'll be back with you in a little bit. Okay? Bye.